Rebelle Diamondista review. Included is the blaster with the bow arms that come detached, the decoder, elite darts, and the instructions. The decoder allows you to read the scrambled message that is on some of the darts. Attaching the bow arms, pretty straightforward. This blaster is the band-powered blaster in the Rebelle line. It's a single-shot band gun. Going over the external features, up here are bow arms. These are not really functional bow arms in the traditional sense of flexing, but they are necessary for the operation because they actually mount your band. This is an elastic band that actually powers your blaster. If you cut that, the gun's not going to work anymore. It's not really a gun, it's a bow, but blaster, toy, whatever. Down here, no in-strike rail. Definitely had opportunity for that, but whatever. Up here is an in-strike rail, so you can attach optics or whatever. Back here is the trigger, which I'll get to in operation, and here's the grip. This grip is not particularly comfortable, but it's not really alienating to large hand. It's just weird. I'm not a huge fan of these ridged grips. They just are not very comfortable. I'd prefer just full plastic that's more ergonomic. So firing and operating this blaster is pretty unique because it's band powered. To prime this blaster, you can just put your fingers here and then pull back, and that allows the band to catch into the catch mechanism. If you try to pull the trigger now, there is a lock preventing you from dry firing the blaster. It does have to have a dart loaded. To load a dart, you can just push it into the barrel, or not really barrel, the loading chamber area thing, and you're ready to go. It's really, really quiet, especially when you compare it to a flywheel blaster, which is just a given. Those things are absurdly loud. But even a spring or an air gun, this thing just kind of poofs. This little band has a mild smack on the plastic, but that's all you can hear. So if you want to fire at somebody from like 50 feet away, they probably won't hear you actually shoot the gun. They'll just see the Nerf dart coming by. Not gun, bow, blaster, toy, whatever. So I'll show you the blaster firing. That happens quite a lot. It's not my fault. Referring to the fluttering. Time not modified, so you can see the rate of fire. $71, 64, 68, duplicate 68, 67 feet per second. As you can see by the chronograph readings, it's shooting about average, which is 70 feet per second is average for an elite blaster like this. So the performance is on par with that, to be clear. Overall opinion of the blaster, it's really, really slow, so I don't see it as being practical, but is it fun to play with? Absolutely. The fact that it doesn't make a noise is just new and interesting, really, for Nerf blasters. I use upgraded flywheel blasters, so anytime I'm shooting a Nerf gun, it is insanely loud, so it's definitely weird to have something so quiet like this, and it's really cool and fun to play with. Is it practical for a Nerf war? No, not really, because it's really slow. Even a single-shot Springer is easier to use because you can very quickly pull back on a priming handle, load, and you're good. Priming this thing is a little abnormal, and it takes some getting used to. Even if you get really fast at firing this bow, a spring blaster will always be faster, so I wouldn't recommend this for a Nerf war if you're trying to defeat other people with Nerf blasters. As far as a fun, gimmicky blaster, absolutely check this one out. One serious complaint I have about this blaster is the loading port up here. I don't know if I have a lemon. I am using brand new darts, so it's definitely not my ammo or my loading, but 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 darts hits the rim here and then it flutters and it doesn't shoot very well at all. So the performance there is obviously awful. 2 or 3 out of 4 darts though shoot just fine, and it's really not much different than a normal blaster, but that one is just fluttering and it just doesn't do anything. It's a little frustrating. I don't know if I have a limit or anything. It just seems like this area up here is a little crowded, and the sled system is neat, but it's obviously going to have those misfeeds. And one note, if you buy one of these, make sure you don't leave it primed, because that's going to weaken up your string here. Make sure you shoot it even with that lock. It's kind of frustrating that you have to get a dart to deprime it, but make sure you don't leave it primed or you're going to weaken the range and power of the blaster over time. That is my review of the Rebelle Diamondista. Thanks for watching.